Welcome to this short introductory video to our open Interfaith Health Science Center Zoom Sanctuary Inspirational Gatherings. The next is the 7th of September, noon, Winnipeg time. God, thank you for giving me the strength, faith, and courage I needed to get me through the stages of my spiritual path. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me to know you better by showing me what has been blocking me from you. Father, please show me if I have omitted anything and help me to honestly see if my stones are properly in place or if I have skimped in any area of this work. A confluence of holy souls. Bahai explains that in the beginning of his human life, man was embryonic in the world of the matrix. There, he received capacity and endowments for the reality of human existence. The forces and powers necessary for this world were bestowed upon him in that limited condition. In this world, he needed eyes. He received them potentially in the other. He needed ears. He obtained them there in readiness and preparation for his new existence. This led me to think about what my job is in this world and for what is to come. All are welcome at our spiritual gatherings. All are equal here. Everyone is free to suggest any changes that will make this a more fruitful gathering, or to take over arranging all or part of any of the sessions. In each gathering, there is a moment to get to know each other, what we're each here praying for, what we have brought, if a song, a quote, prayer, it's whatever has touched us that we wish to share, what's on our hearts. Once friends discover and overcome the differences they previously thought of as barriers, it quickly becomes evident that we are all the same and that we are all capable of loving and trusting each other. When we share our aspirations, our fears, and our love for others through prayer, freed from the usual constraints that guide our material relationships, something stronger emerges, something we might not have known existed within us. In the Lakota culture, one of the four great values is wakasap. I hope I said that right, wisdom. The knowledge and wisdom of old people is very important for the well-being of the Lakota people. This is understood to be something sought and gained over the course of one's entire life, but not just by adding years to one's life. Honoring all the children that did not come home. Verily, with exceeding joy and with heart and soul do these oppressed of thine offer themselves up for all mankind in every land. Thou seest them, O my Lord, weeping over the tears thy people shed, mourning the grief of thy children, condoling with humankind, suffering because of the calamities that have beset all the citizens of the earth. Interfaith, multi-faith, why the difference? At the Breaking Bread Interfaith Gathering, the prompt that day was to talk about typical food we used in our religious ceremonies and celebrations and rituals. Though I'm aware that this is a commonplace among many religions, there is really no such thing in the Bahai faith, which has no rites or rituals. I racked my brain, wondering what to say when it was my turn to speak. Different nationalities and ethnicities within the Bahai faith associate certain foods with holy days, but that was really all just personal preference. Looking around the table at the variety of women dressed in slacks, dresses, and full chadors, an idea struck me. Baha'is do not have specific foods associated with events, I said, and don't have any rituals. But what I see again and again is that it's the women who bring the food. Look who's in the kitchen right now. Could this be an unintended ritual we all share? The dialogue about murdered and missing Aboriginal women is important if we are to build a community we all feel we belong in. It is a hard discussion and a difficult one, even traumatic to hear. Our Aboriginal sisters have had to go through this trauma. We can learn how they deal with being traumatized and can draw on their strength. If it is too much to bear, you can mute for those few slides. We honor the memory of Verna and seek justice. We look to the National Inquiry to advocate for the advance and recommendations for women like Verna. These recommendations cannot be downplayed, ignored, or shelved. When the recommendations are implemented, we avert suffering, justice can be served, and her spirit can rest. Miigwech. Devotional meetings are occasions when any soul may enter, inhale the heavenly fragrances, experience the sweetness of prayer, meditate upon the creative word, be transported on the wings of the Spirit, commune with the one beloved. Feelings of fellowship and common cause are generated, particularly in the spiritually heightened conversations that naturally occur at such times and through which the city of the human heart may be opened. Do Black Lives Matter? Most certainly, for they are the pupil of the eye of humanity. Testimonies, confirmations, how is God showing up in your life? Back in Swansea, I joined others in a shared house with a Hindu-based ashram lifestyle. It's a good way to find inner peace, and soon I was blessed by going deep into the light. This had a profound effect upon my consciousness, so much so that after a short time, I had an awakening into the awareness of the oneness of all things. In other words, I began to grasp the concept of God in my own mind and felt reborn in a deep spiritual way. I am, O my Lord, thy handmaiden, who hath hearkened to thy call, and hastened unto thee, fleeing from herself, and resting her heart upon thee. I implore thee, O my Lord, by thy name out of which all the treasures of the earth were brought forth, to shield me from the hints of such as have disbelieved in thee and repudiated thy truth. Powerful art thou to do what thou pleasest. Thou art verily the all-knowing, the all-wise. Baha'u'llah. Make a list of your friends and invite them to this devotional, or the devotional you begin. It is a gift from you to them. Thank you for listening. Hope you have a good week. Hope you can join us next Tuesday. Take care.